vlog. If you're new here, hi, my name is Katie Wismer. I'm an author and an editor. I have 8 books out currently. Also, depending on when you're watching this, if it's still during the month of November, the first book in my Marionettes series, The Marionettes, is on sale for 99 cents. This is the first time it's ever been on sale since it came out in August of 2021. So that's on sale on Amazon if you want to go grab it. It'll be 99 cents until the last day of the month. So make sure you take advantage of the sale if you feel so inclined. It's a new adult fantasy romance, kind of urban fantasy series. It's pretty dark and spicy, so if you want to check out trigger warnings, those are on my website. Basically a dark and spicy adult Vampire Academy meets Vampire Diaries, that kind of thing. Anyway, welcome to a new vlog. I don't know if you can tell, we're in a different spot than usual. This is my chair that's usually out on my balcony, but it's been cold, so I haven't been sitting out there. And I usually like to spend a lot of time sitting and working on my balcony, so I brought the chair in here in this little corner. And I've actually really been enjoying it because I'm like here by my books. I've got a nice little view. I've been using this chair that's usually over at my desk as a footrest. And this has been my new little setup for the past few days. Today is Monday. And yeah, there's nothing in particular going on today. I just thought we would start a vlog. Honestly, things have been going so well. I've had November off from client work, so I've just been working on my projects and I've been really enjoying that. I feel so refreshed and re-energized and re-excited about all my things. I've been getting so much work done. I'm trying out having a personal assistant to help me with some social media stuff, so that's new. I don't know if I have any other updates for you. I've been working on Broken Perfect Lies, which is going to be my next book release, which is a standalone romantic suspense, adult, dark and spicy, Hannah Montana basically. And I already have my proofreader booked and everything, and it's looking like I haven't set the release date yet. I've gotten questions about, if you want to see any of the frequently asked questions, I added a little highlight on my Instagram. I'm thinking it's going to come out around Valentine's Day is what it's going to turn into. I've been editing that and it's been going so well. I'm so happy with how this book has been coming together. It's been a challenging book, and it's just been very different from every other book that I've written in the way that it feels. Typically, I feel like I nail down my characters first and the plot kind of forms around them. I like to have my characters' agency kind of drive the plot forward. And for this one, I had the plot in mind and I had like a basic understanding of the characters, but they were just very mysterious to me. Even like several drafts in, I felt like I was still trying to get to know them, still trying to flesh them out, and I've been digging deeper and deeper with them in every draft, which I don't usually have to do. And now in this draft, I'm like, something clicked and I'm like, finally, I get you. This latest draft I think is going to like make the biggest difference. It's going to be such an improvement. I'm really looking forward to that. I have a sign up application form if you want to apply to be an ARC reader for Broken Perfect Lies. I'll have that link down below. And then other than that, Bloodless Ties just came out and I have been working on Gracie's book. That's all the work stuff. I'm taking a little bit of a break before focusing on Marionette's book 4 since we just wrapped up book 3, so it's been really nice to get my brain out of that world and focus on some other projects. And I feel like after I'm away from it for a little bit, I'm gonna start to miss it, and then I'll be more excited to jump into book 4. This lighting is like really not flattering. It's 6 o'clock. I have not been sitting here the whole time. I came back and now we're doing some writing. I'm working on Gracie's book. Is this top priority? No, but I've been trying to add at least like 500 words to this every day in addition to working on other stuff. So I was working on Broken Perfect Lies pretty much all day. And now I've added well over 500 words to this book, but I'm having fun, so we're still here. I think you can tell when I talk about Gracie's book for the past like couple of years that it's been on pause. I'm like still just as excited about it. It's so much fun. I love being in Gracie's head. Her like inner monologue, she's so funny. Like my melodramatic queen. She's so entertaining to write from her perspective. I think this book is just gonna be like funny and cute. It'll have a little bit of spice, but honestly I'm not expecting it to be as spicy as like Broken Perfect Lies, but we'll see. I haven't gotten to that part yet, so we'll see. But I think this one's gonna be like my cutest, funniest book. It's a very different vibe. It's like not dark at all yet. I don't know what I'm doing. I try to film in my car. This happens. I go like find a good spot, no one else is around, and then as soon as I pull out my camera, somebody pulls up like right next to me. Irritating. How dare other people want to park in a public place? Fear not, they're gone now. How did I get this camera up here last time I did this? I don't even know. Give me a minute. Literally, how the hell did I do this? Is that gonna work? I am literally right by the street, so you might see cars like driving by. I hope the noise isn't like a big deal or anything. Why are we chatting in the car? I don't know, it just kind of felt like the vibe today. I have a very, very small amount of my Starbucks left. It's raining, it's gray, it's like gloomy, which is my favorite kind of weather. So I went out and I walked to Starbucks in the rain and got like rained on. I love walking in the rain. Then I just went for a drive and like looked at all the trees because all the trees are still changing and colorful and stuff, and it's just like really pretty. And as I was walking back home with my coffee, I just like was thinking about something and I realized I kind of wanted to talk about it in a vlog. If this person pulls up next to me, I swear to fucking God. Oh, God. You know what? No, it's probably gonna happen again. We're just gonna let it happen and we're gonna sit here and we're gonna feel awkward and it's gonna be fine. What was I saying? Okay, so yeah, I wanted to talk to you guys about something. I honestly don't even know where to start, so bear with me. It might be like hard for me to articulate like what I want to talk about and get it organized and everything. But basically, I was thinking about Bloodless Ties because obviously that's my book that just came out recently, so reviews have been starting to come in, and it's a book that I've been working on for so long, like a year, and thinking about even longer than that because it's the third book in a series. So there was a lot of build up to this release for me. There was a lot of anticipation of like, what are people going to think of this book? We're much further into the series now, and I know all too well as a reader, you might really like the premise of a series, or you might really like the characters, but then the direction that it turns or the way that the plot ends up working out, you don't love it. That happens all the time with series that I really like some element of, but another one just like doesn't vibe with me. It's just not the way I was wishing it would go. And so, how to put this into words? What I want to talk to you about was inspired by some of the reviews that I've seen for Bloodless Ties. However, this conversation isn't really about that at all. Does that make sense? Like, it just got me thinking on like a grander scale, a bigger conversation that I wanted to have. So this isn't actually about the reviews of Bloodless Ties. Does that make sense? So basically, I mean, overall, the reviews seem to be pretty positive. The book, it's been out for exactly 1 week today, so there's not that many reviews. It's a long book. It's the third book in a series, and it's only been out for a week, so there's not like a huge amount of reviews. But I mean, overall, you can go look at the reviews if you want to. Average rating is still high. In general, they're positive. And in general, my readers are, even when they don't love something, they're very respectful. So again, nothing to do with the reviews. I just don't want to make anyone who reviewed the book feel bad, because I'm literally not talking about you, I swear to God. Lost my train of thought, someone just walked by. Right. Okay, so it got me thinking, because some of the reviews were along the lines of like, I was disappointed. You know, I was really looking forward to this release, and for whatever reason they didn't hate it, but they didn't like it. You know, it wasn't what they were hoping the book was going to be. And so naturally, as a writer, you see that, and that's not what you want to hear, obviously. You see that, and you just spent a year of your life working on this book, and it makes you pause, and you're like, well, shit. That's obviously not the reaction I want. On the one hand, I want my readers to be happy. I want to satisfy them. I want them to enjoy the books. But that's also not the only reason why I write the books. So I just had this kind of like moment where I just started thinking more about the situation in general. Because, I mean, ideal version of my life is I have a long career doing this, and I publish a lot of books. And when you do that and you publish a ton of books, the fact of the matter is not every book you publish is going to land. Like, not every book is going to be a favorite for readers. Readers aren't going to love every single book. Even my absolute favorite authors, I don't love all of their books. Like, it's just inevitable. You can't write a book that's a perfect fit for everybody every time. There's just not a single book in the world that's universally liked, let alone an author who every single book that they put out is universally liked. So it's inevitable. So I was like, you know what? I'm kind of grateful this is happening, because there's a very high likelihood this will happen again, you know, with another book that comes out. There's a very high likelihood that this will just happen from time to time, where you put out a book and the reaction is unexpected. This is making it sound like really dramatic. It's not like everybody hated it, but like I said, it's not actually about that. Bigger conversation. And so that paired with one of the talks that was at the romance author mastermind that I just went to in Toronto.
The talk was, I can't remember her name, it was Becca something. I think she does like a course or something. I don't know. She was one of my favorite speakers of the whole conference. I found it a really, really interesting talk. And she was talking about the different archetypes of writers and like basically the 4 different types of people and what you get out of your writing and how you function and like what you need in order to be successful. And so there's the 4 archetypes, and then there's these 4 other archetypes, and you can be like one of each. I don't know how to explain. If I can find her link, I'll put her down below if you want to look into it. It was one of my absolute favorite talks of the conference. I just like really resonated with it, and it was just like, it really got me thinking. So super, super poorly explained SparkNotes version of this. It's like you can be a trailblazer, a drafter, an evergreen, or an island. And then the other side of things is a plane, a highway, scenic route, and a hike. So obviously this is kind of talking about like the speed at which you want to move in your career and how fast you want to see results and how fast you want to grow and all that kind of stuff. And then the other side of it is more about the content of your books. And so I really identified with the way that she described being an evergreen, which was basically like you're looking around at what other people are doing. It doesn't have anything to do with how fast you write or how fast you publish or how much money you make or how fast you grow. It's not about that. It's about the books that you write and how you might be like studying the market and studying the trends and wanting to be successful that way. But you have to love what you write. If you're that archetype, it's like you could try just writing to trend, just writing to market, just writing what's selling in order to be successful, but that's never going to work for you if you're an evergreen, because you're going to burn out. It's going to show in your work that you don't love it. You have to love the books that you're writing. And I just really, really resonate with that because I'm that way. Obviously, I want the books to sell. I want my career to grow, all that kind of stuff. But at the end of the day, I love the stories that I write. So how does this connect? What am I even talking about? So basically, I had a moment with myself where I was like, oh yeah, that's disappointing to see that. So then I kind of did this self-check with myself and I was like, okay, but do I love the book? Yes. Is this still exactly how I wanted the book to turn out? Yes. Looking at the things that they may have commented on, do any of them make me feel like, oh, I wish I would have done that, or oh, I wish I would have done that differently? Like, oh, that's a good point. No. Is there something that I wish I could change about the book at this point? No. So it was just kind of like grounding for me to think about their expectations and what I wanted this story to be didn't align, but that doesn't necessarily mean there's anything wrong with the book. It doesn't necessarily mean I did something wrong or should have done something differently. And if you've been around on my channel for a while, you've heard me talk about the book Big Magic by Elizabeth Gilbert a lot. It's one of my favorite. It's not even a writing craft book, but I think of it as like a writing book. It's about creativity and stuff. And that was where I was first introduced to the concept of ideas being like their own entity, basically, where the idea already exists and it basically just chooses a person to bring it into the world. And that's the way that my stories feel. Honestly, it feels like I like meet the idea and it already has like a personality, which I know is kind of silly to say, but that's why when I write my books, I kind of, when I was doing these like self-checks, I was like, does this match the idea as it came to me? Because it's like, I don't know how to explain it other than like the story has like a soul and I need to connect with that soul in order to love the book, in order to write the book. And then also I feel like I'm being like true to the idea, true to the story by letting it come into being the way that it wanted to be instead of like molding it to fit the market a little bit better or fit expectations a little bit better. Does that make any sense? Am I talking in circles? I don't know. Basically, long story short, I was thinking about, you know, how people react to your books and how, you know, writers, I think it's unreasonable to just be like, have a thick skin, like listen to the reviews, learn from them and stuff like that, when you're allowed to feel whatever emotions you feel when someone doesn't like the book. You're allowed to feel disappointed. You don't have to take everybody's advice. You don't have to listen to every negative review just because it wasn't a good fit for that one person. Doesn't mean their opinion holds that much weight and you should change things based on them. And I don't know, if you're at all like me and you kind of approach writing the same way as I do and you connect with your stories the same way I do, if you ever find yourself disappointed by some kind of circumstance outside of your control, like whether or not someone likes your book, I have found it really helpful. Like, it brought me a lot of peace to kind of do this check-in with myself, and I was like, is the story how I imagined it to be? Am I happy with it? Does it have this soul to it that I connect with? Would I change anything about it? And the answer is no. And people are still perfectly entitled to not like it. And people are perfectly allowed to have whatever opinion they want about it. But as long as that is solid, as long as that is solid for me, they can say whatever they want about it, and it's not going to bother me as much anymore as it would have. Because I'm like, well, that's unfortunate. Our paths are like this, and we didn't cross this time. We didn't match up this time. Maybe the next one. But I'm happy with the book. It's what I envisioned it to be. It's what I wanted it to be. Does that mean I am perfect and I cannot improve and I cannot learn more? No, absolutely not. But yeah, that was what was on my mind this morning. I don't know if that really came out the way it was going on in my head, but I said from the beginning, before Bloodless Ties came out, I was like, I feel like this one's going to be polarizing. I feel like people are either going to love it or not like it at all. And I just saw some reviews of people saying this was their least favorite in the series so far, or this was their least favorite, like, of the ending so far. And it wasn't surprising, but I still had a reaction to it, because I was like, well, this is my favorite in the series. This was the one that I had the most fun writing. This was the one that I was the most looking forward to. And looking back on it, it's the one that, like, I'm the happiest with how this one turned out, because it turned out exactly how I had pictured it. And the fact that that doesn't line up with people, it's not surprising, but it is surprising, you know? Like, even when you're expecting something, sometimes when it comes, you're still like, oh, so that did happen, ah. Anyway, thank you so much if you've read Bloodless Ties, and thank you so much for your reviews, no matter what you said, no matter if you liked it or not. I usually read reviews for a book within its first, like, week of it coming out, just to kind of see the initial reaction, and then I stop reading reviews for my own sake. That doesn't mean you should stop leaving your reviews, especially if you can review on Amazon. That really helps the book. I would appreciate it so much. Anyway, I just wanted to have a chat with you. Hopefully this isn't, like, coming across a way I don't mean it to. I think you guys know where I'm coming from. Thank you so much if you read my books, if you give them a chance. Anyway, I'm gonna go home. It's getting a little cold in here now without the heat on. And we're gonna get back to working on Broken Perfect Lies.
No.